Hello and welcome back to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. We are here with our fan cam after a fantastic game between New Zealand and South Africa. Unfortunately, not the result that we wanted as South African supporters, but we're fans of rugby, so any rugby is good rugby, right? I'm joined here by Wesley Hartman. Wes, sure, this 35. 35. What's it? 20. Um, Not a very flattering result
35,
for the
20.
boys. But let's go. Let's have a chat about this. Wes, what did you think?
Yeah, no, thanks, Reese. I think definitely a fair result. I think accurate result for the game, to be honest. I don't feel like at any point did we deserve to win. Obviously, would have liked to have won, but I do feel like the All Blacks were just better. I mean, almost in every way. They were able to control the game a lot better. Look, in terms of what it means, it's how much we learn from it. This can either be something fantastic that we kind of look at and we analyze and we take going forward, or we can we can do what South Africa supporters offers do is just say, right, that's it, change everyone and whatnot. So I do think we have an opportunity here to learn some important lessons from this game.
Speaking of important lessons, obviously a lot was said about the decision to send a lot of players over for this New Zealand game. Did you feel that now, having watched that game, that was a bad decision?
No, I don't think it was a bad decision. I think you try get your players acclimatized with the way international rugby is nowadays, all the travel. You want to have the guys as prepared as they can be. I just think we just didn't show up. That first 15 minutes just created so much of a mountain, and we just couldn't quite climb it.
Right. So, having said that, if you were to have made any changes to the side, if we were to play the All Blacks again next week, um, having now watched an Oz game, having now watched an All Blacks game, what would be your ideal starting lineup? Obviously, well, the major changes, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like, we spoke about it in the fan forum and we touched on it briefly before the start of the game, but I do think that Willemse at 10 is not looking too comfortable. However, I did say that I'd be happy to have him there to get him experience into that position against the All Blacks. So hopefully he's learned something about being, at the 10 position against the All Blacks. But if we wanted to play them again, let's say we were playing them in a World Cup, I wouldn't start Willemse at 10. He just doesn't seem to be too confident in that role. So that would be my only really big change. I mean, as you said at the halftime, our wings were also looking pretty average. MAPIMPI wasn't able to get going. I mean, Colby was okay. Under the high ball, we were questionable. So I don't know if it's so much about player changes, more is about just tightening up a bit, getting our basics sorted and making sure we're doing the very fundamentals right and then building from that.
Right. Right. Last thing then, Wes, if we're talking about obviously some big name players, we're talking about big changes in things. I think that if I was to go tomorrow, ALLENDE possibly loses a spot to Esterhuizen if we were playing tomorrow. And we needed a result just purely based on form. Where we don't have a lot to go on. I think the KLERK possibly also is losing his starting position. And I think Mapimpi's now firmly on the ropes. He's taken a couple of beatings, a couple of Floyd Mayweather dodges that have now come to an end. And I think you might soon see a knockout from Mapimpi. But Wes, let's go back to this and talk about this New Zealand team who are just so good. That was absolutely fantastic. Will Jordan in particular was phenomenal. Are we back to saying that, are they perhaps the front runners for the World Cup now? They've been written off for pretty much the past 4 years.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'd be hesitant to say that. I still think you've very much got an informed France and Ireland team. So let's not forget about those two big boys. I think in terms of New Zealand, I think this is probably the best form we've seen them in, right, since that sort of woeful period in their history not so long ago. So I think they are starting to find their form, which is when you want to be finding it. Like obviously you want to win every rugby game you play, but you really want to be hitting your peak in a World Cup year. I wouldn't back them as the front runners. I think what they brought tonight was just intensity and precision, and that's what they had over us. Is everything they did hard, fast, and well. And so that can change on the day. They were obviously pumped to play at home. They were pumped to play against the Springboks, but difficult to maintain that level of intensity always.
And where's one last final thought? How bad was the ref?
Well, if his cramping was anything to go by, yeah, he was having a tough time there towards the end, but he powered through. So fair play to his resilience. I like to stay away from the ref comments. Like, that's part of the game. Like, just as much as the rules are, the referee you have on the day is part of it. Like, you've got to just play to the whistle. There was a period again where there was something going on the ground. I think 3 or 4 of our players stood up, threw their hands up, looked at the ref, and then the ball spilled loose. It was an opportunity we could have pounced on it, picked up, and there was no one in front of us. We need to get out of this crying mode. I don't want to see it. We need to stop that.
Right. So Wes, our resident fan, does not want to cry about it. I will cry about it. I'm rather upset. I think apparently that's just because you're an All Black, you have about 5 seconds to clean out a ruck, and hold on to a ball and then just push it out the back. But the rules don't apply to everyone. So anyway, Wes, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Please tune in next week and the week after that and the week after that as we stream and comment on every single game. And go check out Stevie P's channel as well. All the news, all the action right here on Forever Sports.